Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Gina Bianca Podcast. It's me, Gina Bianca, at I am Gina Bianca on Instagram. If you're just listening for the first time, welcome. If you've been listening for a while, thank you. Today, we're going to talk about what I look for in a new hire. One of my followers messaged me and said, hey, I'm moving. I really need some advice. What are people looking for nowadays? So I really want to help her, but I think it would help everybody. And I really wanted to sit down and think about, what do I actually look for? Because I feel like the people in my life are there for a reason, and I broke it all down for you. So I'm really excited about it. I created an acronym for you, so it's going to be really easy to remember, and it's something that's really, really cool. So I hope you guys are having a great day. We're gearing up for our Cutting Masters class this weekend on March 1st. We have DJ Muldoon coming, Chanel Mariano, Arif Ahmed, Krista Dupree, Jacob Khan. Oh my God, you guys, it's going to be so dope. DJ Muldoon is doing hands-on the next day also, so it's just going to be the best weekend ever. The class is completely booked, sold out. We are freaking out. We're so excited. I can't wait to see you guys. You guys will hear this on Monday after the class, but just know how excited I am, and we're gearing up. We got all the swag bags. We got 400 boxes from Joyco ready to go. Thank you guys so much, Joyco, for sponsoring our events and really giving a shit about our attendees, because you guys rule. Joyco has been so amazing to me, so thank you, Joyco, for all that. And yeah, let's get right into it. This podcast is all about what I look for, and this is me, so could be different for you, but it might be something interesting for you to think about if you are looking to expand your team, if you're looking to move into a new salon, if just stuff to think about, what people look for, and maybe some things you have to work on, right? So I hope that this helps you always, and please feel free to share my podcast. Every time you share it, somebody who needs it is going to get access to this amazing free education. So I do this podcast so that I can reach people who may not be able to reach me in class. So this is really from me to you, quality education that you can use to grow. So thank you guys so much for all of your support so far, and I'll get right into it. So here we go. Welcome to the Gina Bianca Podcast. All right. So the first thing I always think of, and I think the first thing a lot of people think of, and I think a common answer to what do you look for in a new hire, I think a common answer would be passion. So as I started writing out the list of things I look for, I started to realize that it almost spelled out passion. And I was like, oh, perfect, because I also look for passion, because that was the P. So I was like, I'm going to change the P to something else, and I'm going to make them an acronym. So this is literally how I create. I don't know. Anyways, so this literally is just me jotting out my honest answers and then creating an acronym for you to maybe help it sink in better for those of you guys who are word learners, all different kinds of learners. And I'm going to talk to you guys at the end of the podcast about a little exercise we're doing in Mastermind if you'd like to join us. So the acronym is PASSION. And I think the first thing overall is I do look for passion. I look for somebody who has a reason to show up, who's excited, who's there for it, who's in state, who's awesome, who's just interested in being there. They really have to have an interest and a love for what they're doing. And if that doesn't exist already, I just won't be attracted to you at all. It is a lot about energy for me. I really want people in my life who I love. It's really my whole life I was trained and told to not get too close to your employees and to so I really want to grow a family of people, who I give a lot. I'm a generous person, and I really want to make sure that the people in my life are there for me. So I try to keep my relationships super real, super honest, and if we're not here in this together, and if I won't be devastated if I lose you, then what are we here for? Right? So that's what I think about. If I'm not I know as a business owner, you have to totally separate, business and personal, and I'm fine doing that. Do you know what I mean? I'm fine letting go, but the thing is like, I don't want to change who I am because I'm in business. And you can have a generous heart and be a kind person, and you can do a lot of things for others. You could help people grow. You can do all of that and have healthy boundaries. So I really think that it's important to have boundaries in place. And before you hire anybody, it's really important to get clear on who the fuck you are, because you attract exactly who you are. Okay. So I'm attracting beautiful, amazing people into my life right now. It's because I'm putting a lot of hard work and time into my personal shit. So, and that's stuff that you have to work on yourself. So you got to really think about, like, do I love what I do? Do I have a clear vision of what I'm doing? Like, what is good with my life? Right? If you're unclear with that and you're just looking to fill a position, I got to be honest with you, it's going to be a lot harder than it has to be. Okay. So I really look for, when I go to hire somebody and put somebody on my payroll, and really, that means I'm going to invest in you fully, so I really want to make sure that these are the right people. I want to make sure I'm not wasting my time. And I really want to make sure that they want to be there. So I want to see that passion. And passion usually shows up when people work for free. Passion usually shows up when people show up when you weren't expecting them to. Passion is when people really want to be there. They'll cancel the thing to show up. They will move things around. They will not make an excuse. There's never, they will make it work. They're resourceful. They'll bring their kid if they have to. It's really just like it's just showing up. 90% of life is showing up, and passion is what drives you to do so. So the first thing I look for is passion, and that's the acronym we're going to work with today. So the first letter is P. And I'm going to say definitely look for personality. And this has changed a lot. I had to really think about this because before, I was looking for hard worker, like workaholic, like no excuses, XYZ. I was looking for like people who were like hammering numbers out. And I valued success way differently then. So this is kind of new. And I did write it all out and really think about it. And so the first one is P, personality. Who are they? What do they like to do? Are they living their truth? Do they get along with others? These are the questions that I'm asking. Because if this person standing in front of me is living their truth, there's something cool and weird about them, they got like a weird hobby, or they're just like, they're living their life. They don't really care what people think. I think that's the most attractive thing ever, is when you're just yourself. I really love that. And if being yourself is not wearing makeup and being super casual and granola, you make that look work for you where you're professional, I love it. You wear deodorant, I love it. As long as you don't like to wear deodorant, that's fine. I don't want to know about it, right? You have your look, you have your quirk, you have your style, you have like your thing, and it stands out, right? I have boundaries with appearance. I always like people to look professional, but I like to see personality. I like to see somebody come in and just be themselves. For me, I wear whatever I want now. I don't care what anybody thinks. I used to be so insecure and so scared. I show up how I show up, and I'll go into a business meeting like this, and I will go on stage like this. I'm showing up to be me, and that's what people want. So I really like to make sure we're professional, we're ourselves, we're confident, and we keep our appearance professional, but you got to be yourself. You got to be yourself, and that's what I look for the most, is your personality. Like, who are you? And a lot of the time, we got to stop here, because we don't even have a personality. Who were you before society told you who to be? Like, are you living your truth? Like, who are you, right? So I look for that. I look for, who is this person? What's different about them? What's special about them? Have they tapped into their gift yet? Like, what do they do? Who are they? So that's what I look for. The next one is A. So we're doing the acronym PASSION, remember. So it's P for personality. A is for attitude. So for this one, I have a quote that I want to share with you, and it's been my favorite quote since, oh my God, I think since I was in hair school. I think that's where I heard it. It's from Charles R. Swindoll. And all I have to say about attitude is this, because I can't say it any better, and it's a quote that I love and live by. The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than the facts. It's more important than the past, the education, the money, than circumstances, than failure, than successes, than what other people think or say or do. It is more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. It will make or break a company, a church, a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people will act a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we could do is play on the one string that we have, and that is our attitude. And I'm convinced that 10% of life is what happens to me, and 90% is how I react to it. And so it is with you. We're all in charge of our attitudes. I hope that you guys love that quote. It's one of my favorites, and I'm so happy I got to share it with you here on the podcast. So the next letter in our acronym is S, and that S stands for servant leadership. And basically what this means to me is that we stay connected to our why. And I really want to make sure that the people on my team have that real driving need to serve and not to get anything in return. I really want to make sure that the people I bring on are connected to my why, because that's what I want. I want to just serve and grow and help people grow. And I really want to make a difference. I really want to serve and make a difference. So everybody on my team has to have that mindset, because if they don't have that mindset, it's not going to transfer to my customers. And I have to know that the people I bring on are going to transfer my message to my customers. So it's super important to me. Servant leadership is basically a leadership philosophy, in which the main goal of the leader is to serve. It's really just to serve, make a difference, and really take care of people. I feel like that is my journey here. I really want to help people grow, so I want to make sure that the people on my team have that mindset also. All right, so the second S in our acronym is going to stand for savage. We're looking for savages. We're looking for people who want to get things done. If you look up the definition of a savage, they're pretty brutal. But I'm using the word savage in a verb format, which means attack ferociously and maul. So I want you to be attacking your goals ferociously and mauling any challenges that come in your way. You just have to be a savage. Success is the only option. You have to be able to push through. And that takes a lot of practice and motivation and support. And I'm here for you. I will give that to you. But I really need people who are just savages and who get things done. Amazing. So the I in passion stands for independent, which is one of my favorite traits about people, is if they're independent. Literally figuring things out on your own, showing leadership behavior, and being a self-starter, just executing, getting things done. We will get along so well. And a lot of this takes coaching. So I'm not expecting somebody exactly like that to walk in, but this is what I'm expecting. And this is how I am. I can't really turn it off. So I want to make sure that the people in my life are open to that they have those kind of tendencies. A question I might ask is, what's something that you could say you started all on your own? What's something you did all on your own? That might be a question I would ask in this day and age. The next one is over-deliver, and I want to give you guys a book recommendation because it is so powerful. It is from Tony Hesh, and it's about Zappos, and it's called Delivering Happiness. And it's one of my favorite books about just going above and beyond for the customer, who we're serving for, who we're here for. So we want to make sure we're always under promise, over deliver, and really delivering wow. Tony Robbins also talks about not meeting your customers' needs, exceeding them every single time. So for me, I want to make sure that this person has an under promise, over deliver mindset. Not even under promise, but just don't over promise and under deliver. That's the worst. I would rather you tell me you cannot do anything than promise me you could do everything and then fail and fall short. So I really want people who over deliver, who know what they can handle. And if they have to figure that out along the way, at least being real enough to be oh yeah, that was too much, or being able to own it. Right? So it's huge. Especially in the workplace, you're with these people more than your family, so you almost have to be as real as your family. You have to have boundaries, values. You have to have something you're all excited about, and finding the right people is key. Key. So the last letter, N, in passion stands for non-judgment. And I really, really appreciate and love the word non-judgment because I'm glad there's a word for it. I like to make it safe for people to grow because I have been so blessed by my family, my friends, and everybody around me to feel safe to grow, and to be myself and to really like work through things and just really be real and honest and not worry about people judging me. I'm in a life of non-judgment where I'm not judging others and where I strive to not judge others. Are there moments in my life where I judge others? We all judge everybody all the time. That's all we do. But I make a conscious effort to like be non-judgmental and always like not make excuses for people, but always try to see where they're coming from. It's really important for me, and especially in a life where I was really judgmental before, I really want to, be better and have that as one of my values. So I want to make sure that people on my team are non-judgmental. So what I might do in an interview is ask them about some gossip or some tea, or ask them about something, or, maybe throw them in the break room with my team and see what happens, see what kind of conversation they start. Because remember, we talk about in this podcast, the highway to connection is negative for some people. Sometimes they try to connect so desperately that they start with negative. So you got to catch that stuff, and you have to be very protective of your culture. At GBH, when we were open and when I was there full time, I was so protective of my culture because I had so much to lose, and I was so protective of it. And it's something that when I was full time in the salon, and when I was an amazing leader, when I was behind the chair and doing all of the things, and before my education career took off, that was something I was really proud of. Is I was very protective of my culture, and if there was shit going on, I got to the bottom of it, and I always tried not to start it. I definitely ended up starting some shit, which every salon owner does. We bring in all of our shit. But, I feel like a culture of non-judgment is super, super important. And I really think that that should be something that we lead with. One of my values is being non-judgmental. Could you imagine if someone led with that? Could you imagine? I would be like, wow, I love you so much. Tell me everything about your life. Right? Like, what do we lead with? Most of the time, people will lead with the horrible experience they had at their last place. And guess what? They're never getting a phone call back from me. Because I know how that's going to go for the next place, and the next place, and the next place, and the next place. So I hope that you guys liked my podcast. Was really just inspired by a DM on Instagram that I saw. I'm trying to take a break from my Instagram a little bit. Really trying to be more creative and create bigger and better things behind the scenes for you guys that will make a little bit more of an impact. I'm really trying to focus on the podcast. So my team does help me in my DMs, and they try to respond within a day, but there's so many DMs, you guys. We love you so much. Keep messaging us. We love you. Just give us a little bit of time to respond. And we do appreciate all of the support, all of the love, all of the shares. We really take a lot of time to, communicate with you. We want to be connected to you. And in Mastermind, I'm in there most of the time now. I really want to be in there all the time. I feel like if I'm spending my time on social media, it should be with people who pay to be in my group. So I'm more sharing a lot in Mastermind. And my Instagram, we are so excited because we are back behind the chair doing models, doing clients, and we're going to be creating so much more content for you guys on Instagram, so that you guys can see some cool Instagram TV tutorials. And one shot, I'm entering video tutorial. So I'm going to be coming at you hot with some amazing video content. So I'm excited for that. I'm so excited for One Shot, you guys, and I really hope that you all enter. I love Behind the Chair. They changed my life. I've had an amazing experience working with them, and I really want to let you guys know that just entering the One Shot Awards is a win. Just entering is a win, and you can do it, you guys. You can do it. If you always say oh, well, look what I'm up against, you guys, you can't live life that way. You can do it, and just entering is a win. Just entering is a win. So, before we go, I want to let you guys know that in Mastermind, I'm doing a private lesson for a couple of weeks so we can all discover our learning types. So, if you're in Mastermind, be sure to check our group. Spend a little bit more time in there. I'm going to challenge you guys. There's so much information, so much content, so many amazing conversations happening. Mastermind's amazing. And if you want more information, just visit www.ginabianca.com. I also want to give a huge shout out to Green Circle Salons. You guys are changing the world. If you guys are interested in becoming a green salon, please visit greencirclesalons.ca. They're absolutely amazing, and you're going to love what they can do for your business. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you liked this episode. Remember, passion, that's number one. We got to make sure you are loving what you do and that you have something to show up for, you guys. If you don't have your passion, if you can't find your passion, my number one advice to you is to try to tap into the things you loved to do when you were a kid and give yourself some time and space to be creative. Feed your mind, feed your body, feed your soul, take care of yourself. You'll find your passion if you put a little bit of time and energy into you, okay? We all have the same 24 hours in a day. You can do it. Stop making excuses. Stop sitting in the couch watching Netflix. Stop doing the same thing over and over and make some creative time for yourself. You got to find your passion, number one. Passion, personality, attitude, servant leadership. You got to be a savage, independent. You got to over-deliver, and you got to have non-judgmental values. Cool. I think this was pretty good. I hope that you guys like it. I hope that you guys love my podcast. Please share it with your friends, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you for listening to the Gina Bianca Podcast.